It's a perfect time for a Corona post show here at the Surf City El Salvador Pro, presented by Corona. Enjoying our time here on this amazing right-hand point break called Punta Roca, and after a series of lay days, finally getting a gigantic opening day out of the way. Opening rounds complete for the men and the women, and making our first eliminations from the women's side of things. Pretty dramatic, finishing with a big heat with Steph Gilmore and Tatiana Weston-Webb, two surfers that were a part of the Rip Curl WSL Finals last year. Thanks for being with us, Joe Serpell, Shannon Hughes, and Kaipo Guerrero to start the celebrations with the Coronas on set. Shannon, big day to digest today, and we had a lot of different moods out here at Punta Roca today.
Yeah, it was pretty wild to show up with contestable conditions this morning, but not super favorable. It was those really low tide heats early on, a lot of wind kind of coming into play earlier than we expected to. But the way it shaped up this afternoon, we had excellent scores on offer, and it was really well worth running. And looking at a wave like this, Kaipo, you're seeing the depth it has. On small days, there were some big moments, huge air sections, a lot to take in, and the surfers that adapted the best throughout the day ended up on top.
It's playing the game, right? It's everyone's in the same sandbox. You got to play the game. You got to be available for what's on offer at the time. But right now, Joe, what's happening right now is incredible. The end of the day, the swell's starting to pump. We got this high tide going on, and it's really showing the potential that this break has. Well, we had the big news this morning of the injury to Brisa Hennessy. We talked about how hard it is to deal with the rocks, and she dealt with it in the toughest way. 8 stitches, and you kind of were getting the insight from the medical staff and also Brisa throughout that injury this morning. Were you blown away that she even attempted to surf this afternoon?
I was honestly shocked that she paddled out because she's got the full bandage going on there. She got 8 stitches just below. The good thing about it is that it's almost up the side of her heel rather than fully on the bottom of her foot. So it gave her the opportunity to still put that pressure on that back foot. She also got a booty that she borrowed from another competitor in Bella Nichols, and found herself a pretty solid wave in that elimination round. She was right there nipping at advancing through.
And just feeling the position she is on tour at the moment, Kaipo, #2 in the world, just gave up the yellow jersey. I think in her mind, there was no way she was going to pass up the opportunity to compete. Yeah, and just talk to her and her mom, Katie. It's just time for Brisa to heal, get ready for the next event. But you know what? Marxie's back. Caralupo with the backhand. Oh, that was so great. What a welcome back to the tour. And Caroline was absolutely thrilled to have a heat with Brisa. They have so much history throughout their amateur careers. And what we've called in the past the best backhand on tour, back in motion at Punta Roca.
It's so exciting, and I love knowing that we're going to have Caroline back in the mix to start putting pressure on the rest of the field. I think Caroline surfing like this, coming from not wearing a jersey for a while, some great surf trips that she's been over the last couple of months. But for her to be back in, and now she's going to be pushing that pack that's looking for those opportunities in the WSL Finals, they're going to really have to come out firing because Caroline Marks is in the quarterfinals for her first event back.
Talk about spoiler role. With that WSL Final 5 talk, takes out world #2, Brisa Hennessy, and moves right into the quarterfinals. Remember, it is reseeded when we get that far as well. And Caroline Marks is that danger kind of wild card seed at the moment where she's going to try to take down some big names. Well, she's arguably has the biggest with world #1 coming into the next round. Caroline Marks facing off with Carissa Moore as we check out the final series. Steph Gilmore has Isabella Nichols as she just got past Tatiana Weston-Webb. All California battle, Lakey and Courtney, and Joanne DeFay and Sally Fitzgibbons. Kaipo, what's the heat to watch? Well, emotionally, it's going to be Carissa Moore and Caroline Marks. Marksy coming back. She's got some great people in her corner. She's got Cool Hand Luke right here as a support squad. We already know what Carissa Moore can do, but actually, the matchup, quarterfinal #4, Stephanie Gilmore and Isabella Nichols, I think that's going to be one to watch. We're kind of learning a lot on the fly with this new condensed format, experiencing it for the first time at G-Land and now for just the second time here in El Salvador, and just feeling a heat with Tati and Steph in the elimination round. I mean, we're going to see big heats like that early. Tati's got to carry that elimination round result now. Chances just getting a little bit tougher heading into the WSL Final 5. Yeah, it's crazy moving past the cut. And even for a matchup there with Steph and Tati, that was the first time in their career out of their 8 matchups that they've matched up that early on. Their earliest, around 4. Typically for them, it's quarterfinals, semis, or the finals. So really, we're seeing that pressure being applied right out the gates here now past the cut. Also, the men getting involved today, and it started off with a bang, Kaipo. The first heat of the opening round, Jordy Smith, who's now the oldest guy on tour with Kelly gone. Also looking at Ethan Ewing, who's now the high seed in that WSL Final 5 picture, and a goofy foot named Yago Dora, who I thought was still recovering from injury. That's not the case watching him surf today.
You know, we talk about him coming back. We talk about the problem with the broken foot and that injury. Long time off. They call him the skinny goat. You know what? That landing pad and all the gear is way intact right here. Check this out. It was just so inverted, corked out, and the stomp, the landing. I could watch this a dozen times, Joe.
And then Jordy was actually thinking of taking that wave with priority. I think he was just so baffled of the upside down hook from Yago Dora. He ended up going over the falls. That was a 9 to go to first when this man, Ethan Ewing, Shannon, he was setting the pace the majority of this heat.
Well, he's just been on such a run as well. It's been exciting to see Ethan find his feet finally to be able to string together entire heats, not just those single moments. But it was Yago with that massive air. That was a moment to witness as well, like in live action. I was down by the rocks and actually got to see it right in front of me. And really, the video footage doesn't even do justice to how incredible it was.
The debate continues. Best air of the year so far between Colapinto's 10 in Portugal to Yago's 9. Is that debate continuing, Kaipa? Where do you stand?
The inversion on Yago's air was very, very impressive. But the amplitude that Griffin had at Super Tubos and the clean rotation, that full rotation, and the stomp, not kind of having any struggle out of the way, Griffin still has the baton, Joe.
Shannon?
I'm kind of with that one for Kaipo. I mean, I loved Yago's 100% insane, but for Griffin, it was that full commitment. The section he landed on, he could have broken his ankles, broken his legs on. That's how high, that's how far he had fallen from the sky. To land together with his 2 legs and his knees intact, that was insane.
Yeah, 2 different versions of a big punt, right? And obviously the inversion for Yago was phenomenal. He said he would have been happy with that air just in real life outside of a heat. If he just did that by himself, he would have been very proud of that performance. But that just made things interesting, sending Ethan Ewing in the elimination round along with Jordy Smith, as we know how tough those heats will be potentially first thing tomorrow morning. Another big heat that was fun to watch. Baron Mamiya here for the first time in El Salvador as he took on Miguel Pupo and Maddie McGillivray. McGillivray from South Africa has been showing off a lot of his power. He was kind of stuck in the 5 range, but it was all about Baron getting the big win. Even in his post-heat interview today, Kaipo, he said there's a lot of things he wants to improve on when he gets back in the water again.
The prodigy. He wasn't happy, actually, with this performance. He wanted more. He felt he didn't surf that good out there. He came through, did what he had to do, but you could tell in this heat, this was when things were starting to change out here as we see Miggy hammer away on the backhand. This is when the swell started filling in, the tide started filling in, but there was this funk with it. This is the 767 for Baron Mamiya, and he really had to wrestle with this wave for the score.
Totally fighting through some big sections, and he definitely was feeling a little uncomfortable. He said some of the turns just felt awkward, even though he landed a couple of big things early in this heat. 767 was the big separation that brought him to a heat victory. Hand of the glass with yourself, Kaipo. Pupo Vray dealing with the elimination round as we look at the numbers. Mamiya in fine form, but I think he's really wanting to get back into that WSL Final 5 talk. He's drifted out of that conversation just slightly in the last few events.
Yeah, well, he came out as a wild card, just blew our minds at sunset, and now to see him kind of outside that patch, but with a fresh goal. I mean, coming in as a wild card this season, he would have never been thinking about the WSL Finals. It was just next year try and qualify. Now that he's here, he's shown that he can put it down against the world's best men in the lineup. He's got to be looking at the finals.
It's really cool to see how he's handling himself, Kaipo, from working with Galley at Sunset, Sean Ward at certain events as well, and then just going, I'm just going to rely on my instincts. He's got a clear plan on how he's approaching the Dream Tour this year.
I'm impressed by his maturity right now. Just 22 years old, but really he's grown up a lot just in this tour year. And now I think he feels like he belongs. And he's quietly confident. And to me, when I see a surfer like that, it reminds me of Jack Robinson, that quiet confidence. That's when they get dangerous.
Speaking of dangerous, elimination round was pretty wild today for the women. Some extreme matchups. The case will be the same for the men. And it'll start with the first heat of the elimination round. Ethan Ewing, number 5 in the world, has a draw that nobody wanted. The local wild card, Brian Perez, the Pink Panther, is looking to create a big upset there, Shannon.
Oh, and I think if anyone can upset Ethan in the form that he's been in this year, it is the local and Brian. He knows this way better than anyone. The airs, the maneuvers he's been pulling out in the free surf have been better than what we've been seeing from literally anyone else in the draw this week. Now it's just going to be that question, can he hold it together while wearing a championship tour jersey?
That's going to be the big test. Another big heat. Heat number 3, Italo Ferreira is going to be having his hands full against Josh Burke. Kaipo, how's this going to play out?
Italo's got to be centered for this one. Italo can't get his nerves be the best of them. He's already got that surfing ability that he needs to get through any of these heats, but he can't have the weight of the jersey on him. Josh Burke, in contrast, has absolutely nothing to lose, so that freeness can be very dangerous to Italo Ferreira in this matchup.
Also really enjoying a matchup in heat number 6, 34-year-old Jordy Smith against Nat Young from Santa Cruz. This is a stellar heat. Nat's in a happy place. He's got his family here, but there'll be the pressure on. The thing is, he's got his backhand, which I think is his most reliable weapon when it comes to key heats. Obviously, final of Bells. He's won in Sri Lanka. He's won at home at the Coldwater Classic. But it is Jordy Smith who will have all of his weapons available on his front side. We know what he does at J-Bay. Now it's just in warm water here at Punta Roca.
That's an exciting matchup. The two fathers, they've got their young families starting to grow. They've got their focus is shifting between those sort of moving objects as well. But with some great waves on offer, I just feel like Jordy, he's got J-Bay as home, where he learned, everything about it. The conversation lies here with Punta Roca looking like J-Bay, and I just feel like Jordy's going to have it.
Oh, incredible heats to look forward to potentially first thing in the morning. Let's take a moment here on the Corona Post Show to learn more about We Are One Ocean and the activation in El Salvador.
Volcanoes have long shaped Central America's geography and coast. In El Salvador's river carry dense volcanic rocks from the mountains to the sea. Once in the ocean, these cobbles and boulders can withstand powerful swells and form awesome waves in response. Today, Paso Pacifico and Oriental Salvaje joined forces with WSL, Shiseido, and community volunteers to restore native plants near the Chilama River and to create awareness for the importance of this vital ecosystem through the We Are One Ocean initiative.
Paso Pacifico aims to restore and connect the tropical dry forest and coastal ecosystems of Central America and southern Mexico. We're working with WSL in El Salvador to restore the habitats along the Rio Chilama, which is the river that supports the Punta Roca surf break.
Subcity. Subcity es una estrategia integral que tiene que ver con la sostenibilidad de los destinos turísticos, que la WSL tiene un gran compromiso con el medio ambiente, tiene un gran compromiso con el desarrollo de los deportistas también.
Para mí es muy importante porque soy surfeador, creo que el devolver al mar y a la tierra.
This activation is really important specifically here at Punta Roca because it's protecting this little coastline that protects Punta Roca as the wave.
Venimos aquí para hacer una restauración de vegetación nativa.
Sí, la verdad que es algo que tenemos que hacer todos, o sea, no solo los surfistas, sino que todo el mundo, de sembrar árboles, de cuidar eso y porque tenemos las mejores olas del mundo y tenemos que también regresar que el mar nos regala y que la naturaleza nos regala, entonces para nosotros los surfistas siempre es algo muy importante de cuidarlos y mantenerlos bien limpios.
I just learned how important it is to make sure that we're protecting the coastlines, that at my home break I can get involved there as well, and that waves like Punta Roca are all over the world and we need to help protect them.
Este es nada más un inicio, ¿verdad? De lo que podría ser a futuro, algo que otros vecinos de acá de la zona pueden también replicar para poder proteger los ríos, que son los que influencian esta zona de las olas que tenemos acá.
Like many things in nature, the Chilama River is resilient. If we work together to support the life that sustains the river and this wave, the local and global surf community can continue to benefit.
Together we are one ocean, and speaking of the ocean right here at Punta Roca, the waves are looking incredibly fun. After the last heat was finished, I saw Ethan Ewing running down there, a lot of the world's best trying to get a surf in, Griffin Colapinto scrambling. as quick as you can over the rocks. That swell has really appeared this evening, and it's looking really fun right now, Shannon.
It looks incredible. I'm a little jealous of that pack heading out for a free surf after today, but great, too, that they can really now start to experience Punta Roca and all that it has to offer. It's got such a great wave, such a great history around it, and now they can start to feel that energy coming through with that bigger swell.
Well, Kaipo, as we know, Surfline's been letting us know today was going to be important for opening day, and it looks like we could be very busy in the next couple of days as we bring up the forecast.
Well, I've been waiting for it, but we see it as these lows are coming through here, creating some sizable south-southwest swells for Wednesday, Thursday, looking to light up Punta Roca. We're just a developing storm offshore, though, so we're going to be watching the local winds a little bit. But the good news is, Joe, look at that. Plenty of swell in the water, especially tomorrow, 6 to 8 foot faces. It's on.
Great to see 6 to 8 foot. That's for tomorrow. So look forward to seeing potentially that heat with Ethan Ewing and Brian Perez first thing in the morning. Drops in size just a touch the following day. Surfline letting us know that it should be rapid fire action with the world's best. Seeing some big heats first thing in the morning is what our plan is right here at Punta Roca. Well, it's now time for the top 5 of the day here on opening day of competition. Coming in at number 5 on the list, Jack Robinson. Fresh haircut, had to fix it a couple of times. Still in rhythm after back-to-back events with this lethal combo he threw down this morning.
Oh, just insane aggression coming through. Going for those airs right off the start as well and putting all that risk in and reaping the rewards. So cool to see Jack roll into competition, feeling like he's just got all that momentum. It's tough to back up a win. He's already done that. Now, maybe he can do it for a third time.
Incredible performance there. Number 4, 5-time world champ Carissa Moore opens up really strong in the elimination round.
I wanted more, and we got more because she took the long road to the quarterfinals, had to surf her way through the elimination round. And you know what? I think this was some warm-up time for Carissa Moore because she just took it to Punta Roca, Joe.
I felt like she was just getting a nice steady warm-up through the opening round, lost to Courtney, then dealt with the wild card, Tia Blanco, and just had a nice, easy, controlled pace. Great wave selection. Carissa Moore, world number 1, into the quarterfinals. Number 3, Shannon, on the daily top 5, Medina fire.
Oh, just finding his way on a great-looking right-hand point break for the 3-time world champion to be showing that he's got a lot of aggression in the tank. He's ready to show up, coming back at G-Land now, putting together solid performance here for a second event of the year. It's a really exciting, dangerous thing to see, I think, for the rest of the pack.
It really is. He's so spontaneous. He's powerful. Everything he performs on a wave doesn't ever feel pre-planned. He had a really solid blitz on the backhand today, earning that spot in the top 5. I don't know, Kaipo, it's a lot of goofy foots at the top of our list on the top 5 today. You got to be proud of that. Caroline Marks comes in at number 2.
Oh, I love it. Marksy, like I said, Caralupo returning, happy, and just showing that backhand that we've all had appreciated. We saw earlier Houhan Luke Egan's here with her, but just this approach from Caroline and the fact that I see her smiling and happy to be back in competition, that is really rewarding. And so a happy surfer, an in-tune surfer, that's a dangerous surfer when it comes to competition.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, after all that time off, you tend to worry about her. She's such a wonderful human being. You wonder when she's coming back. She delayed it even further at G-Land. So a much anticipated return to the jersey for Caroline Marks, who's already been in a title race, who's won events. I feel like she's ready to win another one, Shannon.
Oh, she's right there, right on it.
Number 1 on the top 5, Shannon, Yago Dora.
Pushing the limits, going into the air, negotiated such a challenging section to link it up for this one. That tail was so insanely high, Kaipo. I can't believe it.
Yago Dora's just like, I don't need priority. Here we go. Jordy tries to get him on that, but it didn't even work out. 9-point ride, under priority. Sometimes you got to dig deep into the bag and you come out with that golden nugget, and that's exactly what Yago Dora did. And even more important, after talking with him, is the fact that that gives him so much confidence because he didn't really even know. He hasn't been pushing himself that hard. So to push himself that hard, to land that air, and to do it in New Jersey, that's triple confidence.
It was like he said the best thing that's happened to him since he had the injury. You know, all that rehab, all the emotions that come with it to that moment right there, into the 9s, and he needed it. 3rd to 1st with that one.
Oh, incredible. To be able to pull together that kind of performance, I think you nailed it there, Kaipo. It's that confidence that he needed to be able to pull that full picture together. And to know that his body's feeling fine to be able to pull maneuvers like that means he's going to be going for a lot more.
Pressure heats, anticipation for tomorrow. Kaipo, feeling like we're starting first thing in the morning?
I feel very, very confident that we are going to be getting on with it.
A lot of emotion throughout the day today, as well as someone very close to our hearts of the WSL, Mano Zul, passed away. We just want to send our hearts and love to the entire Zul family and his friends during this tough time. We love you, Mano. Thanks for everything that you've done, not just for surfing, but for our friendship and the love and the laughs you've given us for so many years. We'll leave you with that this afternoon. We can't wait to see you first thing in the morning for the call with the men's elimination round on deck. We'll see you then. Buenos dias, everybody, as we see the world's best surfers prepare here at Punta Roca.
I think I did a full body detox. Now I'm feeling light, ready to go, ready to make sections.
Wow, so strong. Hopping over a big rock. Yago Dora pulls off one of the best punts of the year.
That was the most exciting thing that happened since my injury, actually.
You just got to surf free, I feel like. Try and get as many waves as you can and see how it goes.
Bang! These guys are on fire out here.
Give it to me now. Drop that.
Score that for Brian Perez. Crowd loves it. As we see Miguel Pupo going to town. Medina just sliced that Punta Roca right up into pieces. There we go with the prodigy, Baron Mamiya, on a larger wave. Aggressive turn, hangs on through some bouncy water.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.